Harry John had a brief encounter with Persephone. He was too stupid for it to last. "Hi," he said. "Hey!" Before we go any further, look at what it says he does. It says it's in Sydney in Australia, and it says he works at USA Visit Visa Processing Centre and authentic Australian undetectable fake banknotes. Good start. "Good morning," said Persephone. "How are you doing today?" "I'm fine, thanks." "I'm glad to hear that. Where are you from, dear?" "I live in Leeds in England. Where do you live?" And notice that, as usual, she's just answering his questions. First time. It isn't hard. "I hail from Israel, but I'm currently in Syria for peacekeeping operation." "Oh, why does your account say you live in Sydney?" "Yes, that was the last country I visited for vacation." "I don't understand." "I travel a lot. That's just a very big part of my life." "What don't you understand?" "Why you say you live in Sydney if you don't." "Yeah, that's because I stayed in Sydney for a while now." "You mean you're in Sydney right now?" "I'm only here for some time. Then when I'm done here, I'm returning back to Sydney." "I'll try that again, shall I?" "Are you in Sydney right now?" "Nope." "OK, but you're going there again on holiday soon?" "I came down here for work. I'll return to Sydney when I'm done with work." "Why do I have to ask you everything twice?" "Yes, I'll be done here in less than a month." "And you'll be going back to Sydney for another holiday?" "Yes, that's right." "Where'd you stay when you're in Sydney?" "And what about you?" he said. "Piermont. Have you ever visited Sydney before?" "Yes," said Persephone, turning into Celia. "My son lives near Bondi Junction Station." "Oh, that's great. That means you do come around sometimes." "I've been twice. I might come again next year in your spring." "Well, that would be great. Well, let's get to know ourselves more better and see where it leads. That's if you don't mind." "I know myself fairly well already, thanks. If you're Israeli, why are you in Syria?" "I'm just there as an undercover agent," said our man, who only a few minutes before had said he was in Syria for a peacekeeping mission. "That's not what you said before." "I don't remember telling you my field at work before," said our man, panicking. "That's a shame," said Persephone. "Scroll back and you'll see which field you were working in before." "And what was that?" he asked. "I'm sure you can manage to scroll back up the page and read it for yourself," mentally adding, but not typing, "at least, and read what your mate said." "I never told you I was an undercover agent, because I can't just let the cat out without knowing you. It's a risky job I do, so I'm mostly secretive." "You still don't know me, but I see you've managed to scroll back and see what you said before." "Of course," she added. "You wouldn't want to be found out. Can we change the topic, dear, now you know what I really do?" "OK. Do you spend most of your holidays in Sydney? How often do you go home?" And at this point, you're going to regret that she ever asked him. "Yes, I love it over there." "How often do you go home?" "I haven't been home for some months now." "That doesn't answer my question. If you spend most of your holidays in Sydney, how often do you manage to go home?" "I don't have time or date, because I only go home when I complete the mission," said our man, probably forgetting where he claimed he'd come from. "Oh, FGS, stop talking in riddles. Grow up and at least try to sound like a mature man. If you spend most of your holidays / leave / vacation from work in Sydney, how often do you get to go home? Do you A, go home once a year on average? B, go home twice a year on average? C, only go home every 2 or 3 years? You can just say A, B or C to save you typing another load of pointless rubbish." "Because I don't have a fixed time for my holiday." "Please answer A, B or C. On average, how many times have you been home over the last 4 years? Or are you too stupid to understand the question, which would be odd for a secret agent? And I'll make you ask your next question 5 times before I give you a sensible answer, adding 1 extra time for each extra time I have to ask you. Then you'll see just how idiotic, childish and annoying it is not to get a sensible answer to a simple question." "Why do you want to know so much about me in one day? We only started talking today. With time you'll get to know me better." "OK, you're obviously making up stupid stories, and I've no idea what you're talking about. Goodbye." "Are you a journalist?" said our suspicious man. "Because you're asking too much of me, and that makes me a bit nervous. I asked you one very simple question, which you can't answer, so no, you lied to me. Plus I had to ask if you're in Sydney 3 times, whereas I answered your questions first time, so no, you're lying. Goodbye." "You want to know when I'm returning? Is that it?" No, you brain-dead moronic idiot. I asked you, on average, how often do you go home? Do you A, go home once a year on average, B, go home twice a year on average, C, only go home every 2 or 3 years? Oh my God, he said. And that's now the 6th time I've asked, so you now have to ask me any questions 6 times. Exactly, she said in reply to him. You're too thick to know the answer because you're telling me idiotic stories. I go on vacation, maybe 2 to 3 times a year. Hey, I'm a military man. You know the government owns me. I'm not allowed to visit home when I have something serious. Besides, I'm not married yet, so that's enough reason for them not to grant me leave, said our man, talking complete and utter rubbish. Okay, for the 7th time. The 7th time? And she copied and pasted the questions 3 times. Or are you too thick to understand the question because it's blatantly obvious that you aren't a military man? You're so dramatic, he said. No army would employ someone as idiotic and stupid as you. You're such a liar. Okay, the answer's B. And a very, very bad liar. Okay, now you have to ask me any questions 7 times before I give you an answer. You're probably having a bad day or something, he said. And even then I might lie to you, because obviously you're lying. I think you need some time off to cool off, he said. I think you need some time to find your brain. Don't get too serious now. I was only being sure to know you. I'm very serious, and I'm certainly getting to know you. You're killing me here, lady. I also want the same, but you're really putting pressure on me. No, I'm simply trying to get you to answer simple questions first time, exactly as I did. That's fine. Maybe I was the dumbass here. It's called having a conversation. Yes, you were, and soon you'll find out just how dumb and annoying it is. Right! Ha ha! I felt offended at some point, but I must say, you're quite fun. Sadly, you're no fun at all, but your video might be funny. My video? He asked, suspiciously. If you ever make a video, I'm sure it'd be funny. I assume that's why you're talking like an idiot. I thought you were making a prank video for TikTok. No way! I'm a very serious person. Wait a minute. How old are you? A minute, replied Persephone, completely irrelevantly, is 60 seconds of pure loveliness. Hey, Bunny, can you just answer the question? Only if you ask it 7 times. I know you're mad, but I said I'm sorry. That doesn't count as a time. In fact, you never actually answered my question. You just chose one of the 3 options I gave you, so I'll need 3 options to choose from. Okay, A, 45, B, 48, C, 52. Awesome set of choices, she said. Well, let's hear it. You have to ask another 5 times. Oh, no. Can we do this some other times? Oh, yes, and that doesn't count, so you still have another 5 times to go. It's very annoying, isn't it, when someone won't answer a simple question, but just types stupid, irrelevant answers. Okay, he said, repeating himself. A45, B48, C52. I understand. It won't happen again. No, she said, it probably won't. I guess so. And we're down to 4. So he typed his question 4 times in a row. Several times in a row doesn't count, unless you want me to add 2 for the last time I asked. I have to give you a stupid answer in between, so now it's 3 times. LOL, you're really stressing me here. You know I'm chatting you with a desktop computer, and it's difficult for me to respond fast. I don't have my mobile phone or a table. That's very sad, I'm on the laptop too. But, unfortunately for all of the scammers, I'm a touch typist. Well, I'm probably not as fast as you. Okay, let's get it done with, he said, giving the options again. You're probably having a bad day or something, quoted Persephone from what he'd said earlier on. Okay, and he asked again. Oh my God, said Persephone, copying what he'd said before. He asked again. Awesome, you get today's star prize. I think that was 7 times. The answer's C. Don't you think I'm very good with guessing, he asked. Not really, it's not difficult. Okay, your turn then. More interesting would be to see how old you now think you are. How old do you think I am? I'm asking you, I'm not going to guess. And if you make me ask again, we'll reset back to you having to ask me 7 times. You're not working today, I guess, he tried. Okay, you now have to ask me your next question 7 times, adding 1 extra time for each time you refuse to tell me how old you are. I'm 40, he said. Okay, that keeps it at 7 times. Then you're ghosted, because I've absolutely no interest at all in talking to someone who I have to ask every single question several times. It's boring, childish, idiotic, and a waste of time. And it's so obvious that you're lying. I'm okay with the little I know for now, he said. and so obvious that you have no idea what you're talking about. You're too thick to be in the army, so goodbye." "I hate being called a liar and a cheat," said our liar. "Maybe if you were in my shoes, you might understand what it's like. So you have the right to say anything you want. I'll be gone for a while because I have a briefing with my supervisors. Do have a nice day." I presume that's the supervisors in his scam calling centre. We'll never know, because at that point Persephone blocked him. And if you ever wonder why I rarely bother to report fake profiles anymore on Facebook, here's Persephone's support inbox. You can see the one she's just reported today. Here's one from the 8th of May. On this occasion, they didn't even bother to say whether they had or hadn't removed it. Here's one from the 4th of November. We didn't remove the profile. Here's another one from the 8th of May. Prince Andrew, no less. They didn't remove that either. Clearly they're quite happy for Prince Andrew to hang about on Facebook. Here's one from the 14th of April. They didn't remove that. And I'm not skipping anything, guys. I'm simply working down the list. Here's one from the 12th of February. That wasn't removed. Here's one from the 8th of February. That wasn't removed. I hope you enjoyed this rather short tale of a scammer who simply wasn't going anywhere. If you did, please like it, please share it, please comment down below, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again in another video.